Put your hands up. Ladies and put your hands up. Welcome. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Yeah, I'm a witness for the Lord. I'm gonna sing these crazy praises till I'm gone. I might do a little dancing cause the Bible lets me know that that ain't wrong. I sing my praises to the King because he's worthy and he's seated on the throne. Anytime you wanna talk about his power and his mercy, let me know. Oh, I'ma sing these crazy praises till I'm gone. Oh, I'ma sing these crazy praises all day long. Oh, everywhere I gotta go, I let them know.
What's going on, Alpha Raiders? James Nguyen here. I think I hear an echo, so I did hear an echo. I was like, what is going on? It's like there's a delay and you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. What's going on, my Alpha Raiders? James Nguyen here, and we are gonna draw tonight. It is 8 o'clock on a Sunday night, and we're gonna draw the inspiration for Deadpool. Mr. Wade Wilson was originally Slade Wilson. Mr. Liefeld doesn't like to admit that Wade Wilson had any influence by Deathstroke, Mr. Slade Wilson. So I'm trying to get my ducks in a row. So before I forget, I did launch a pre-order for Alpha Red number 8. So if you're new to the channel and you don't know what Alpha Red is, you can go to fundalphared.com, and that'll take you to the Fund My Comic campaign, where I have shared for the first time the homage cover for issue number 8, and it is an homage to Amazing Spider-Man number 328, Spider-Man punching the Hulk. So if you go there, why don't we go there? I'm just gonna go there because I have it up. Gotta scroll back up. I was doing all the things to the last minute, as I do. Gonna pop you in right here. But that's what you're gonna see when you go to fundalphared.com. You can pick up the new, the old, and the new cover for Alpha Red number 8. You can pick up the entire series 1 through 8, regular series, homage covers. You can pick up all the homages. Over here on the side, you can pick up a sketch cover if you would like. I'm not going to do that. But let's hop over here and just say hi to the crew here. Let me remove this. Ba-dam, ba-bam, bam, bam. And the comments. Brother Phone is back in the US of A. USA. Brother Phone, USA. Back in the house. And it is the original Deadpool tonight. Yeah. We'll talk about that. Maybe, Brother Phone, you can enlighten us on all the different aspects of why Slade Wilson came before Wade Wilson and why Deathstroke came before Deadpool. All right, maybe a timeline of when Slade Wilson was introduced and when Mr. Wade Wilson was introduced. Brother Benny's in the house. Phone, you thought you were the original Deadpool. I thought you were the original Deadpool. Yeah, the merc with the mouth. He's slitting throats and stuff. What's up, Brother Benny? I don't have the mouth for it. Ha ha. Brother Ernest in the house. Got my Alpha Red package yesterday. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Brother Ernest, for supporting Alpha Red. Brother Benny says, James, I really wanted to see you at Funky Town, but I couldn't factor in the 4-hour round trip with the weekend. Thank you. I was hoping that you would pop in. I know that you're not around the corner, but you're like kind of around the corner. You're like close enough, but not really close enough. But I want to thank everyone who came out to the Free Comic Book Day event. It was a blast. It was very successful. I sold about 55 issues of Alpha Red, so that is not a small feat. I mean, I remember the first convention that I went to in Syracuse, where I just did Alpha Red, and I sold over a 2-day weekend 60 issues of Alpha Red, and I was over the moon because before that, I would sell maybe 5 or 10 issues of Alpha Red, and for it to go from 5 or 10 to 60 issues over a 2-day period, I was walking on cloud 9. But over the weekend, I was there for maybe 6-7 hours at Funky Town in Cicero. They have 2 locations, and I'm thankful that they opened the second location, because at the first location they had Joe Jesco, and they weren't gonna bump Joe Jesco so that I could have the flagship store. So Mr. Joe Jesco was at the main store, and thankfully the second store had enough room for me and Mike Gibson and Joe. Gosh, I don't remember Joe's last name. Oscar. Somebody will remind me. But yeah. Funk says, I wanted to see James at the Funky Town too, but I'm in California. That would have been a crazier round trip. I would have been. 55 more Alpha Raiders. Yeah. I wound up hitting 5 stores for Free Comic Book Day. Did you get anything good? We can go over some of the things that we got here. Let me see. Let me open this up and share the window here. So, I want to keep you up to date as far as the progress of Alpha Red number 9. So you've seen page 1. You've seen page 2. Page 3. I'm not going to talk too much about them because, I don't want to give it all away. So this is page 4, and this is the newest page, page 5. I wanted to be done with page 6, but it was a busy week. I was doing a lot of traveling for work, and then on Saturday is when I usually catch up on the second page that I get to do for Alpha Red. But I had Free Comic Book Day. And even if I didn't have Free Comic Book Day, I would likely not have had time to do page 6 because it was, no, I'm not done yet with that. Because I had a big home project. We were putting in some new parking spaces for my older kids who have cars, and they're parking all over the grass, and my wife's not crazy about it. But here it is, last week's. This is where we left off with the Spider-Man Superman cover, and I did finish it off. I started it at the Free Comic Book Day event, so this is now what it looks like, and you guys get first dibs. Anybody who wants it, it's $60. You can PayPal me, PayPal to jamesqartist@gmail.com. I will be putting it up sometime, maybe tomorrow, so maybe tonight if we get done early. But $60. But that is the cover to Spider-Man. And Ryan's in the house from Zebra Comics. What's up, bro? What's up with you? Hopefully you got out to a Free Comic Book Day event. So this is the cover for Alpha Red number 8. This is the homage cover that you will be getting if you stop over at fundalphared.com. That campaign is good through the 15th because everything's done, obviously. I just have to know how many to order and then have the opportunity to ship it out to you. And if you're new to the channel and you're just picking up Alpha Red, you can pick up all of the Alpha Reds 1 through 8 on the campaign, and there's no wait. You can actually pre-order and get the regular edition shipped to you right away. So that is the original cover right there by Mr. Todd McFarlane, side by side. That is that was the original cover that I used. And yeah, you can get Alpha Red issues 1 through 8 on that campaign. You can get all the homage covers. These are all of them if you've never seen them all together. But you don't want me to go on and on about that. We are going to do Deathstroke. Here's some of the free comic books that I picked up yesterday. This was Masters of the Universe. The drawing's not great on this. I don't know if I would have paid money to see this. It's nice to see the old characters, but the drawings, not so great. We'll save this. We'll do a talking to. I flipped through this. This looked pretty good because I do like John Romita Jr. And he looked pretty good here. He doesn't always look good, depending on who inks him. And even though Scott Hanna is his main inker, it doesn't always look fantastic. And I think I've talked about it here before because I've met Scott Hanna, and he has shown me some original John Romita Jr. Look at that! Look at the feet on here. Like, what's going on here? JR. Yikes! But JR is kind of phoning it in lately, and he's leaning pretty heavy on Scott Hanna. And so Scott Hanna does his best, but JR not giving him the enough on the bones. But the artwork is pretty good. I still like JR, so I let him pass because he is one of my favorite Spider-Man and Deadpool and Daredevil artists. But then this other follow-up thing was pretty good. I only had time to flip through it. I picked this up just out of curiosity. I've never picked up anything from Mad Cave, and this was a nice black and white edition. And I do like to see, as an artist, what other artists do with just black and white artwork. So I'm gonna dig into that. And then here's Avengers Armageddon. That's their new event for the summer, and it's not so bad. The artwork looks pretty good. And as I was flipping through some of the artwork from Marvel, it is fine. I just don't understand why nobody's picking up their stuff. Like, I don't have an interest in it, and I guess there's nothing that they're doing that excites me, unfortunately for them. But the artwork here obviously looks very good. I wish I cared. I don't know how to make myself care. I don't know what they can do to make me care about these characters. I mean, the drawing looks fantastic, honestly. If I'm being honest, I would normally pick that up maybe. But that's a nice little preview. And then we got the preview of the Energon universe and a couple of pages. They had a pretty big chunk of Mask, the preview for Mask, and the vehicles looked fantastic, as they should. But the figure work was a little lackluster, but it is what it is. And then the race swap Matt Tracker, I didn't get a chance to read it. My son really liked it, so I'm gonna have to trust that he has fresh eyes, and you're probably gonna get a quality product with Mask. So this is the Transformers preview, which was very short, and then the Void Rivals preview, which who cares? Who's reading Void Rivals? Not I. I don't know why I don't care about that either. Got nothing for me from the Skybound universe. And then this last one is G.I. Joe, and that looks fantastic. So, and my son said it was really good. He and I are fans of the Energon universe G.I. Joe. But here it is, the main event. This is the main event, and I gotta say, I just want to let you in on where I am. Where I am getting inspired by the pose. So I have a Pinterest account, and they just email me stuff like 4 or 5 times a day. And because I look at just comic book things, sequential art, sometimes I'm just looking up Jim Lee or Joe Madureira stuff. And so they feed me a lot of this stuff, a lot of Wildstorm stuff. And they curate for me a pretty good selection of inspiration. I'll find a lot of these images repeat, and depending on what I am looking for, I can usually find a pose or something that inspired me. And this is the latest email that they sent me, and this is what I'm going to use. I am going to use partly this. This looks like a Dave Finch. I'm not sure if it's Dave Finch. This is Court of Owls type of stuff, so I know he did Batman for a while. But I found this Brett Booth backlash. I thought that could inspire the image of of Deathstroke that we are looking for. And we're going to say hi to some more people in the chat. Ernest says, my city finally has a local comic shop, opened yesterday, and I picked up the original Deathstroke, The Terminator #1 collecting edition from August of 91. Wow, that's cool. So cool. Brother Funk says, I remember the issue of Spider-Man that Homage cover is from. It's when Spider-Man gained the Captain Universe powers and punched Hulk. Nice. I really like the Batman, a Wonder Woman, the Truth one-shot comic that came out last week by Jeff Loeb and Jim Chung. Highly recommend. Very cool. Brother Jay Scott's in the house. What's up, James? The books got delivered Thursday. They came out real good. Well done. I know you're proud. Very, very much so, sir. Happy Sunday to everyone. Jay Scott's in the house, so we're going to do it in color. He's here so early. We're going to do this one in color if we have time, and I think we will. Brother Funk says, are you going to have AR9 done by a Comic-Con? By Comic-Con, like the Comic-Con International, San Diego Comic-Con? No. The Koinonia Con? Possibly. I'm aiming for that. We'll see. Brother Benny says, I'm reading Void Rivals, but man, it's a slog. I think I'm worried that I'll miss something in the Energon universe if I drop it. I don't know, bro. I've never picked one up. I don't even know how it connects to the Energon universe other than they tell me it does. Brother Ernest says, doubt it would affect anything, Benny. It's what we're thinking alike. Great minds think alike. That's how they get you, bro. That's how they get you. Jay Scott says, yeah, coloring. All right, let's get to it, guys. Let's just get right to it. So I want to make this one kind of big. Not that I want to cheat you out. Didn't realize how nice this paper was to draw on. I'm going to get a harder lead, so I'm not distracting myself with the dark pencil lines when I go in here for the colors and the rest of it. So, like I said, we're going with that backlash, that Brett Booth backlash picture. And I pictured like a gun, a handgun, and he's holding up a handgun because he's got cool knife things on his new forearm guard, and they're like daggers or whatever, and it's a really cool design. I don't know if you guys picked it up, this new next level version. Brother Ernest got the OG version. So does the OG version of Deathstroke come out before the Deadpool, before Rob Liefeld makes Deadpool? I wonder, because that is, I didn't realize, because I was a Marvel guy. I make mine Marvel, everything is Marvel. Let's see, do I want it this big? I might not want it this big. I want to give us more of its outfit. So I was only ever familiar with Marvel's version of everything, and I didn't realize that it was such a hot topic that Liefeld swiped Deathstroke from DC, and it's so blatant with Slade Wilson, Wade Wilson, mercenary. I don't know. Like, was he just flexing? Did he not care that people were gonna call him out on it. You know, obviously his character stood the test of time, whereas Deathstroke is has his fans, but the general audience is not as familiar with Deathstroke as they are with Deadpool. So, all right. So we're just gonna get the general gist. I'm gonna pop back over here to this to see what kind of what I'm missing here as far as the energy of the composition is. So I'm trying to determine, I'm gonna just go ahead and pop in here and see if I can make this bigger and see where his hand is. Is this his hand? Yep, so his hand is down here. Brett Booth does such a fantastic job on all the little details. So, so his hand is all the way down here. So we'll put another pistol in his hand. And when I draw a pistol, I try to make it come at you just a little bit. At least one of them here will come at us a little bit. So I give it the bigger part up here, smaller part down there. Just gives you a little perspective. Makes it a little more visually interesting. So he has all these. I assume that these are magazines in his belt area here. But Funk says part of the problem with why DC doesn't do more with Deathstroke is his name, The Terminator. Does it always have to say The Terminator? Is that part of his name? I know that it is how they portray it, but like, is that like if you name something that somebody already owns the rights to, you just add like an adjective to it. Uncanny X-Men. Not well, maybe that's not. That's a bad example, but I know that one of my fellow creators at Starcross Comics calls his comic The Relentless Tin Soldier. I'm gonna hop back over here to look at Mr. Brett Booth's. I'm looking at the head to see why that has more energy than what I just put down. So the angle of his head, I was not getting right. So it's just more like a level, eye level, and maybe even crank down just a little bit to show that he's kind of looking down right at you with his one good eyes over here. All right. Getting close to the colors there. But J. Scott. All right. Let's put those cool daggers right yonder way. And yeah, so I don't know if you were here, J. Scott, but I finished up the other I finished up Superman on the cover of the Spider-Man Superman. So if anybody wants that, that's $60. Otherwise, I'll just put it on eBay, not eBay, Etsy tonight or tomorrow. But if you guys are here, you get first dibs. Dibbity did. Hibbity did. All right, we got that there. Got some leg strappies for the guns. The unholstered guns. And it looks like it's like all kind of metal here. Like armor. Armor. So I don't know if you guys remember the Invincible sketch cover that I had yesterday. I mean, on previous ones. I think I drew it at the Syracuse Collectors Con. So somebody came up yesterday, and they were looking at that. They were looking at a bunch of the sketch covers, and he settled on the Deadpool and Jeff the Land Shark sketch cover that I had, because it was $10 cheaper than I was selling the Invincible cover. And so made the deal. He was very, very kind, very complimentary. And I was like, very cool. He walks out. Somebody else comes up. Do you have anything Invincible? It's like, I got this here. That's $40. And the girl says to her dad that her brother would really, really like that. And so they buy it. And then the guy who bought the Jeff the Land Shark comes back in and he says, can I trade this and give you $10 and get that Invincible? And I was like, sorry, bro. Somebody just walked out with it. And he was so mad at himself. It's like, I felt bad. I was like, I do have another sketch cover that has Invincible in it. I have that Marvel team up with Spider-Man and Invincible. I said, I can draw you one. And he's like, I should have grabbed it when I could have. So don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. All right. Is that enough energy? Is that are we gonna be able to get that energy going? All right. Let's lock some things in here. So let's take away as much of the pencils, the stray pencils, as we can, so that we don't have to erase much later. All right, maybe I want to go in with the darker pencil first before I start laying down some colors. I'm going to give him the flow. This would be the tassels that have no purpose in this version of his outfit, but you need something flying around to let you know which direction he's moving. All right, let's go. Let's do some just some details, and we will use the pencils as the guide for the colors, and so that we don't lose too much of the detail here. So that we don't lose the details. So, any favorites from your free comic book day? What you got from free comic book day? Like I said, the Energon universe preview was probably the highlight for my son. So I assume that is going to be what I appreciate the most. So I saw that the Dungeon Crawler Carl Free Comic Book Day book, which had an absolute Batman homage, was going for $135 the day before Free Comic Book Day happened. And people on the internet were not happy with the dealers who are clearly taking advantage of their ability to have the book early and kind of exploit the people's desire for the scarcity of certain things. I think it had to do with the fact that Dungeon Crawler Carl is getting a cartoon or a TV show, something like that. And also that the artist on Dungeon Crawler Carl was the same artist as, I think Brett Bean is his name. He's the same artist as the Dork comic from Image that was super hot like 2 months ago and has since kind of cooled down. I don't know what they're worth now, but they were going, the Brett Bean Dork comic was going for like hundreds of dollars, and it was a #1. And Brett Bean is not a well-known artist outside of being a fan favorite artist on the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Let's see if I missed anything. Don't want to forget you guys here. Brother Funk says, in the Teen Titans cartoon, they refer to him as Slade all the time. Yeah. In Teen Titans Go, to the movies, they poke fun at the whole Deadpool Deathstroke confusion when they call Deathstroke Deadpool. And then he goes into the whole explanation on why he's the original. The better one, Ernest says. Funny. Now, I know that T has some very loyal fans. So, we shall see. Let me fix his shoulder here. His shoulder looks a little. Let me see. Let's refer to the original and see why that looks cooler than mine. So it's because his shoulder is farther down. All right, we're gonna bring his shoulder down and see if that solves the issue of it looking a little stiff. And I'm gonna bring his other shoulder down too, so that we're not losing that that angle. We want that to have that same kind of dramatic angle. So I don't know. I don't want to. Let me think about whether or not I want to tell you, because it's something that I'll be working on this week. So next week we will not have a draw stream. I will be traveling from Tennessee back to New York. I'm going to a homeschool conference. The homeschool conference that started it all 2 years ago. It's called Teach Them Diligently, down in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And so my wife and I will be down there, and I won't be able to live stream because we'll probably be pulling in right then to to home, but I am gonna say that she's not gonna let me do a live stream next week as I pull in or hurry home to do a live stream. If I even mentioned that's why I would be driving a little faster, she would have a fit. So happy wife, happy life. We won't tell her, and we won't aim for it. If we somehow magically get home by like 6 p.m., which I doubt, highly doubtful, unless we leave there at like 5 in the morning, which is not part of the plans. There will not be a draw stream next week. Maybe I can record something and schedule it out, because the convention ends on Saturday evening. And so maybe on Saturday evening I can do one, depending on the strength of the Wi-Fi at the Airbnb. Maybe we'll do a Saturday night draw stream instead. And my son, he's stuck on Frozo. Anytime I ask him, who should I draw tonight? He just yells out Frozo from The Incredibles. So one of these weeks, I gotta draw Frozo. So you guys let me know if you would hang out and watch me draw Frozo from The Incredibles. So yeah, if you guys haven't hit the like button yet, what are you waiting for? Please, please, please tell YouTube and Facebook that it is worthy of sharing it with others, so they too can make fun of Deadpool as a knockoff of Deathstroke, his not as popular older brother. And I don't know why they made him so old. Like, I guess you need some experience to be as good as Deathstroke is. All right, let's see here. Getting close to the colors. Getting close to the colors. Getting dangerously close. All right. Get the sword. The sword. Put a sword back here. We'll put a sword right there. Spelled sword. So my kids, we homeschool. So my kids do a lot of reading, but they don't always know how to pronounce stuff. So it's funny when they start talking to us about certain things that they think they know a lot about or they want to discuss. The funniest one was my son, who is into exotic cars. He likes everything that is expensive. So he starts talking to us about his dream of buying a yacht. And my wife and I just start howling. And he's like, what? I can get a yacht. Like, that's not how you say it. So if you are phonetically challenged as myself and you've never seen the word that describes a luxurious boat that is pronounced yacht, it is spelled very much like yacht. but yeah, my daughter still calls it a sword, and she likes swords. She's into fantasy and stuff. At least she thinks she's into like the fantasy stuff. She likes dragons and she likes knights and things like that. But all right, we got other details. Oh no, gotta get one more gun over here with the perspective. Like it's coming at you a little bit. Coming at you. I don't know if he has like very specific guns for this design. It looked like it. It was oddly specific in the pictures. There's like a squareness to the back of it here. So we'll just keep it as close to on design as possible. And then the barrel sticks out a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a wee. Let me see. Brother Fong says, do Frozone, yelling out, honey, where's my super suit? We're taking about the greater good here. We're talking about the greater good here, woman. I'm the greatest good you're ever gonna get. my man, Brother Fong is he's got the Frozone lines all memorized. Yes, yatched. She could say sword that way. Just say she's using a Jersey accent. Yes. Ernest says, I read a post about that, how people who read a lot pronounce things differently since they have never heard it with the ear. It's normal. Yeah. It's just funny. And we try to make them as less awkward as we can, as you do as a parent. You know, you don't want your kids being the weird homeschool kids, but they are homeschooled and they're kind of weird. So, but weird in the best ways. Come on. All right, I think we are ready. Let's do away with some of the unnecessary line work. Oh, forgot to add the new knee guard, shin guard details here. Kapow. All right, let's go with the orange first, and we'll start the orange off as like a dark yellow. Not a dark yellow, but I have like a really, really light yellow that is going to be unnecessary. We'll lay down the orange parts as yellow. Hopefully I have enough of the colors. But I sold a bunch of the sketch covers yesterday, and it was clear to me that the color sketch covers definitely got the people stopping and looking, as opposed to just the black and white ones. So I guess I will have to color all the ones that I have, just so they have an opportunity. They have more of a likelihood to be sold. All right. All of this is going to be orange Orange, you glad I didn't say. What's the knock knock joke? Banana. That's it. Knock knock. Who's there? Banana. Banana who? Knock knock. Who's there? Banana. Banana who? Knock knock. Who's there? Orange. Orange who? Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? I used to roll around laughing at that joke. That's how simple-minded I was. It's okay. The sense of humor starts somewhere, right? Gotta start somewhere. That's going to be a tan. Don't worry about that. This will be orange right here, right here. Right here, right here. Brother Ernst says, that's my excuse when I say something weird. I read a lot. To be honest, if your son ever makes enough money to buy a yacht, then he can pronounce it any way he wants. Darn tootin'. Darn tootin'. And he likes to, I forget how we got on the subject, but of course if you buy a yacht, you name your yacht. And so we were guessing what the name would be. And he apparently had a name for his yacht, because this is a story that we also told around my in-laws, because we thought it was that funny. And then the blue, we'll use the blue highlighter, of course, to lay down that foundation of the brightness. And then we go darker, 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 which is the opposite, I'm told. You do it digitally. You go dark, and then you layer in the highlights. But because I am not a huge fan of coloring my own work, I will go the other way. Anyway, so we took some guesses at what the name of his yacht would be. And I was pretty proud of my suggestion, even though he said that we were all wrong. And I can't remember what he thought. I can't remember what he said it was going to be, what it was actually going to be. But he likes to work out. He has like a bazillion push-ups, and his dumbbell press. He's pushing 90-pound dumbbells up, and that is more than I could have ever done, even in my prime. I definitely did not try as hard as him. But yeah, he's doing 90-pound dumbbells. So my guess for the name of his yacht was Flexin'. And I like to think that he smiled extra big when I gave him my guess, because that was pretty smart, pretty clever. Pretty clever. So I don't want to just make it all blue here, because then I'll start losing where things are. So I'm going to keep some of it just uncolored, so that it kind of looks like it's shiny. Shiny. Is anybody excited about, speaking of movies, that remind me of the Moana movie. And that with the crab thing, who collects treasures or whatever. Anyway, my kids watched Moana a lot, and I would hear it in the background, but I did not watch Moana that much. Where's the detail? I think his elbow, Bilbo. His Bilbo is blue, and then that will be yellow or orange. But what's coming out soon? And there's something coming out. Didn't the first weekend in May, wasn't that the kickoff of the blockbuster summer season? I want to say, isn't that when isn't that the reason why they started doing Free Comic Book Day on this weekend, on this Saturday? Because it coincided with a lot of releases, like blockbuster movie releases. Am I misremembering that? I thought they would fight for this weekend. Like everybody wanted to kick off the summer. They wanted their movie to kick off the summer. All right, so there's just different shades of blue here, but I only have a handful of shades of blue, so this is just gonna have to see through this and remember that his underwear part here is a darker blue, and it goes all the way into this like thigh guard design. And then you have the thigh guard thingamabobber. And then it makes a little A-shaped thing there. And hopefully when it comes back with the color, we can make it all look seamless. Seamless. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are at 432, I want to say. It pops up and pops down. I don't understand why it does that. I don't know who's unsubscribing or why someone would unsubscribe. Like, I'm subscribed to a lot of channels that I don't watch anymore. So for somebody to take the time to unsubscribe, it's weird to me in my head. And I don't think that a lot of people are notified even when I go live or whatever. Or maybe they tune in, they don't care, they tune back out. Who knows? Who knows? I know that YouTube is suggesting to me a lot of different kinds of creators that they had not previously. But they are not showing me the creators that I'm actually subscribed to. So go figure. Go figure. Don't know why that is. But it is kind of annoying. Because I kind of like who I subscribe to. Kind of like the people, for whatever reason, I subscribe to them. Please keep me subscribed. All right, now let's do the like his pouches and stuff are brownish, like a light brown. Oh, my leg. All right. Let's see if this is this goldenrod. No, light walnut. Light walnut is hopefully a good base. Oh, I forgot. This needs some yellow over here for his forearm. Is that too dark? It's a little darker than I was hoping for this guy, but we'll keep that like the belt part that keeps the pockets on. And then we'll see if I can find a lighter one. Actually, the street that goes down in the middle is kind of dark too. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. Ernest says, and yet you're using the banana color first. That's right. Not the orange. Orange, you glad I stopped using the banana color? Why didn't Noah's family play cards on the Ark? Because Noah was always standing on the deck. It was a good one. That's a good dad joke. Come on. Could be they're deleting their accounts. Yeah, I've seen some problems. A lot of YouTube people are complaining about that. Chuck Dixon talked about that on his show, how YouTube was taking people off the subscription list. Yeah, like that just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. All right, I think this is a pretty good, like a. That's still a little dark. A little darker than I like. Let's see if I. had this box of. My daughter gave me a box of her markers. And that's about the same. Same. Maybe it was meant to be. Too dark. Let's go. That was like 10. I'm gonna go for my. Where's my goldenrod? This is goldenrod. Goldenrod, can you save me? All right, we can't spend too much time on it. So I did watch an interview with Dan Mora. So if you don't know who Dan Mora is, he draws like everything for DC, and he's coming off of Transformers with Skybound. And the guys were like asking him, like, how many books do you do a month? And he's like 3 or 4 books a month. And like, how do you manage to do 3 or 4 books a month? And it was the best advice I had ever heard about. I mean, it's not nothing new. His advice was nothing new. We hear it all the time. But he said that I'm just not a perfectionist. He's like, I want to hit the deadline so that I keep doing more stuff. And there's a little bit of wisdom to that, because Jack Kirby used to say the same thing. Said he wanted to put food on the table, wanted to put the kids through college or whatever. So that's how he got to do 4 or 5 pages a day. That's like unreal to me, because just to think about like how much time I put into thinking through like the best angles for panels and things. But that is the luxury that I have, because I don't do it for a living. But if I assume that if I had to do it for a living, I'd be reusing a lot of poses, panels, just whatever came to my brain. I would put it down. And he said he doesn't type pencil. So he'll go right from thumbnails. Like he'll do the thumbnails, send it off for approvals, gets the approval from Marvel, from DC or Skybound or whomever, and then he just starts inking. And he's not a perfectionist, so whatever he puts down is what we see. And he also works digitally most of the time. He said that he was a graphic designer, and so he's good with the computer stuff. He does layouts and stuff. And he said that when he decided that he wanted to draw some comic images, I don't remember if he said it was for fun at first, or he was like thinking about seeing if he could do comic books. He did not grow up wanting to be a comic book artist. They did not have a lot of comics in Costa Rica, which is where he's from. And it makes a lot of sense to me that a lot of the lack of like a leading artist that moves the needle anymore, like the image creators used to move the needle. A lot of that came from how dependable they were from month to month. John Byrne was doing 2 or 3 comics a month plus covers. So there's something to be said about just being on a lot of books, and a lot of people get a lot of exposure to you, and then you gain notoriety. That's what Rob Liefeld said about the early image creators when they were all working at Marvel. They said they wanted to get the best gigs, so they would make sure that they would hit their deadlines. And that's why we all knew them, because they were dependable on their respective titles. So that is why I want to give you guys as much alpha-red as I can, so that you remember the character, you remember me as a creator. I wish I could talk about the things, like the plans that I have. But all of it requires me to finish issues 9 and 10. And because I'm already thinking about, I already have the stories for issues 9 and 10. So you have to stay kind of that far ahead to see if you can be prepared. I was working on pages for issue number 9 as I was waiting for the printing to be done, or colors from page colors from issue number 8 to get done, so that I could send it off to the printer. I mean, so you just sit around and wait. Thankfully, I had the story for issue number 9 done. Ray McKay, I asked from him a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months. Let's keep with the orange. Let's see. That's pretty orangey. Let me see if I have a slightly darker orange. Just keep on going with the orange. I think he thinks, oh, this is kind of thin. Definitely Is this any different than the orange I just laid down? Methinks not. That guy's a little not worth my time there. All right. I'm gonna try to layer in another layer of this orange before we go in with the actual orange that comes out reddish looking. I'm going to use that minimally because he's not as orange as he is. He's not as red as he is orange. So, all right. Just going to hint at some of the yellow coming through. And then let's see. Let's hide him down here first, just to see how deep and darkness he comes out. If I start using him, I think he's just going to be like a shadow, just to outline some of the shape here, because I think if I start using it for the larger interior space of the orange area, I think it will definitely come out looking red. So we'll give that the minimal, make it minimal right around the things here. Ernest says, I think it was JRJR that said he was told by Kirby, just put it on the paper. Don't second guess it and get it done. Yep, I believe you were right. I think that was, I don't know if I heard it directly from JRJR, but everything I attribute to Liefeld, because he tells all the stories. He was like in the room for everything, apparently, in his mind or in real life. For the guy who's not a perfectionist, he's pretty darn good. Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, that maybe you get to be a non-professional perfectionist if you are so darn fast and so darn good. You don't have to be a perfectionist, you know. So maybe you get it right more often than you get it wrong, and the people are happy enough with when you get it right, then that they would rather get something that you did that is not quite perfect, as opposed to not getting something from you. So, you know, something to consider. All right, we'll keep that for all that we do on the orange side, even though it's mostly yellow and dark orangey yellow. So I'm going to go in here again with the highlighter and put a second layer of the highlighter before I go in and use the dark blue, or the light blue that comes out pretty dark. And I'm not going to do anything more with his front chin guard, neck guard, whatever that is. Like a Rob Liefeld designed thingamabobber there for his neck. Like Cable's X thing that's under his chin. Not exactly sure what purpose that serves, but sure does make him look cool. All right. Oh boy, we're going way over time. All right, this is where the speed comes in. I'm gonna channel some JRJR some Dan Mora, some Jack Kirby. Gonna channel all the good guys. Channel all those good guys. In here, I thought we were gonna have so much time because when I color them, I noticed that it goes by faster because when I go in to do the inks, there's not as much to ink because I've done so much of the form using the colors. All right. All right. Now we go in with this light blue that will come out dark blue, because if I use the dark blue or just the normal blue, it comes out very dark, like navy blue. I don't know why I'm doing Hawaii 5-0. Is that Hawaii 5-0? It just sounds like a fast. It sounds like something fast. Hurry, must hurry. Yeah, so after I finish issue 10, I'd like to do like an alphabet annual, which would be more like a team up. But I have to ask permission from the people that I want teamed up. Let's see. What do I want to do here? I want to go fast is what I want to do. Got to get those, because it's metal, like, so we want some of that 90s shiny metal. Fox says, I just flipped to the back of AR8 and I just realized I made a cameo in the Ray McKay interview. Yes, you did, sir. Yes, you did. Yep, that's Hawaii 5-0. It just sounds fast. It sounds like, things are imminent when you have the Hawaii 5-0 music. And right here in his abdomen area, there's like the chainmail that he's known for. But they draw it really weird. You know what they mean, and it looks like a future chainmail. But tis cool. All right. We're just gonna channel our fastest favorite is fastest artist and pretend like I got a deadline. Let's make my deadline 9:30. Can we do it? Can we make the deadline 9:30? Let's make the deadline 9:30. And then your brain has to come up with the solution faster. think we talk about happy accidents right here, and sometimes you get the happy accident. And you're like, wow, I didn't think it was going to turn out that good, but there it is, because I had to hurry fast. It came out better than expected. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here, but we're going to assume that good things are going to happen very, very shortly. Remember, this is just the colors. And then I'd come back in with some more detail with with the inks. Ink it ink. So this is like partly metal, partly form-fitting muscle highlighting. Don't know how it happens. Don't need it explained kind of coolness. Coolness. Where is? Okay, I know where it is. But any movies that you guys are? I forgot that I was in the middle of asking you guys if there are any movies coming up that you are excited about. I see a lot of the He-Man stuff. I am like on a He-Man board on Facebook, and they're putting out a lot of cool stuff. There's like an animation of the toys interacting with each other, like playing out some of the scenes. I think that's pretty cool. So I'd love to watch that in the theater, but I hate to spend the money and then it be stupid. I mean, it's a possibility. It's entirely possible. Yeah. Good. All right, this is 70. That's too dark. Let's do a 10 first. We'll do a 10 just to kind of get the shapes in there, and it is going to pull in a lot of the pencil. Hey, that's a happy accident. It pulled in the pencil and made it look kind of like the silvery sheen that we're going for anyway. You might just leave it like that. Talk about happy accidents, Kapowski. And we're gonna go, because it is a looks to be a shinier gun. We'll go with the 3 next and see if we can't just catch maybe another happy accident. I'm gonna move the mouse there. I kept hitting it, kept banging my elbow on the mouse. Eek! I have 11 minutes left. 11 minutes. Can I do it? Yes, I can. Bob the Builder. My kids, my son used to love Bob the Builder. And he now has a lot of those construction vehicles for his business. So I don't know that that was intentional, but all right. So we have that. Do we need anything else before I go in with the inks? Let me say no, because I only have so much time for the inks. So let's go. Let's go. Gotta get the right amount of eyeliner for his eye design. The eye design. Yeah, now we're gonna fight the bounce of the paper. Gotta pin it down. Don't you go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Gotta go fast, fast, fast. So fast. Get those happy accidents. I'm waiting for them. Come on, happy accidents. Happy accidents. So when does the Spider-Man movie come out? That looks like it could be pretty good. Pretty good. Not planning on watching the Supergirl movie in the theater, unless I hear that it's like fantastic. But it's not looking that way. I'm open to it. I don't think I can convince my wife to go with me this time. She went with me to the Superman movie premiere. Not premiere, but the first day it came out. I could not be stopped. I wanted to watch it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I showed it to the kids when it first came on TV. And I didn't realize how much cussing there was in it. Like, oopsie. Sorry about that, kids. I don't remember all the things, all the bad stuff. You know what we just watched on Friday? It's the first time that the kids saw it. And it's the first time in like, goodness, I don't even know how many years it's been since I saw it. But we watched Mask of Zorro. The Mask of Zorro. And I think it holds up. I thought it was really good. I don't know why Anthony Hopkins was chosen to be the original Zorro. Sir Anthony Hopkins. He was not looking very Spanish, as you might have guessed, because he's not. All right, let's get some more details into his mask here to make him look more angry. Like he's calling out Deadpool. Get over here. Get over here. So if anybody's interested in this is $35. $35. If you want to be the proud owner of this Deathstroke The Terminator. $35. PayPal to jamesqartist at gmail.com. And this could be going out to you. First one who sends it, I shall send it to you. Then I would just refund if there were more than one of you who wanted it. If there was more than one, there will be only one. There can be only one. Got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Can I do it in 4 minutes? I remember watching an interview of Joe Madureira, and he said that to hit his deadlines, sometimes he was drawing in the back seat of the car on the way to the Marvel offices. His wife would be driving, and he would be in the back finishing up his pencils because he had a deadline for that day or whatever. To which I say, stop playing video games, Joe, and get us those X-Men comics. But I'm sure he's doing fine. Doesn't sound like he's married to that same wife anymore, though. Sadly. 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 Oh, I took my thing. My mouse. I took my mouse away. All right. I don't want to rush it too much, guys. So I am going to call it quits at 9:30. And then I'll noodle with it here in the next couple hours, maybe next day or two, as I prepare to head off to Tennessee. Head off to Tennessee for the homeschool convention. And see if I can't squeeze in something on that Saturday night. Saturday. All right, guys. It is time to land the plane for this evening. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me and with each other. Head over to fundalphared.com if you want to pick up the Homage cover of Alpha Red number 8. I just didn't have it ready when I was doing the other campaign. I was not intentionally holding out on the Homage cover. It just I needed it. I wanted to have it by the Syracuse Collectors Con, so I had to prioritize all those other things first. And turns out that I could not get the Homage cover done in time. So I'm doing it for the pre-order of Alpha Red number 8. Well, this is going to have to be it for right now. Guys, I appreciate it. Let's go through some of your final things here. Brother Funk says, if you're going to do another next level DC title, maybe I suggest Firestorm or Zatanna. I wish I had the Firestorm one, the sketch cover, but the Zatanna, my local comic shop did have that, and I was so close. It's just I don't have as much time to do as many sketch covers as I want, and I have so many sketch covers. I've already bought so many sketch covers, and I have some more sketch covers coming with the mask stuff. They said, "Hey, do you want a Venom sketch cover and like the good? I don't know. Is Masked the good team, and then Venom the bad?" So I said, "Yeah, I'll take one of each." And so I have those come in, and I have all kinds of sketch covers. So I can't catch them all. Can't Pokemon them all. I wish I could. I'll wait for the initial fan reviews before shelling out money to watch He-Man. Yeah, I get that. Probably will watch Toy Story 5 and Avengers Doomsday. I am getting excited for Doomsday. I don't know why. It just feels like it could be entertaining. He-Man is on my watch list, but not sure of anything else. No Doomsday for you, sir. J. Scott said, looks good. Anything? Thanks for coloring Steam, much appreciated. Coloring stream, much appreciated. Got it. Yep, I have to take my kids to Spider-Man for sure. Yeah, I want to see Spider-Man. I think that looks good. I think that's almost a guarantee that's going to be pretty good. Don't worry so much about the cussing, since they have trouble with pronunciation. Oh, they get those right. They don't say it around me, but they get those right. All right, guys, if you haven't hit that like button yet or subscribed, please consider doing all that good stuff. I'm sure the YouTubes will reward me for it somehow. Maybe not. Anyways, all right, I'm going to pause that and end the stream. Guys, thanks so much. Until next time, grace and peace.
With courage in his heart, a beacon of hope, he's ready to start. With faith as his armor and a fire in his soul, Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, we'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see Alpha Red.